What's up, everybody? Welcome to RugRoast. Let's go.
It's a rug roast. Please get smoked. You come with the real or you end up toast.
Share a little YouTube link.
Yeah, it's a rug roast. When we poking the beer, we riding the boom, burning no cheese to
What's up? We're good. Yo, welcome everybody to episode 8 of RugRoast. We've got the OMparticle with us. We've got Fractal Woman and Jordan. Really interesting project. We'll jump into that in a little bit here. But first and foremost, as we've been mentioning throughout the last couple days, we've got a new co-host joining us, and that would be 2160, the legend, alien mask Maxi. He secretly told me on the side that he loves the Victory hoodie as well, but we won't worry about that. But yeah, 2160, dude. Really pumped to have you as a co-host. We've known each other for a long time. So it's great to have you. If you'd like, do a little intro. Tell us about how you got into NFTs, what you've been doing since you got here, and in the journey. Share the journey.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Bern. GM, everybody. Happy to join Bern on this Rug Roast podcast. And first and foremost, I'll just be basically roasting Bern the entire time. He can roast the projects, but I can't stand his Victory Maxi perspective from Rect Guy. But a little bit about me. I have worked in tech basically my entire career. I spent 7 years in the Army. And I was trading crypto around 2017. But I have an art history background. I was a double major in college, and art history was my minor. And so when I saw NFTs kind of pop up on the scene in 2020, that's when they kind of hit my radar. I just thought, wow, this is a great hobby to have. It interests me from a tech perspective. It fulfills me from the art perspective. And I kind of wanted to dive in a little bit deeper. I got in right before kind of nifty gateway boom, you could say. So I've been around almost 3 years, and I've kind of never gotten off. I've had to learn work-life hobby balance, which is hard to do because crypto Twitter never sleeps, and a week is like 30 days for the rest of the world. But I love to be here. I love to talk about and try to indoctrinate people into what I think the future of technology is going to look like, as well as show them beautiful art. So, and what I've done in the space while I've been in, outside of just being a collector, I've advised on projects and I've advised artists. So more of a consulting role. I've also worked on the Artifacts project, started and created by Roger Dickerman as a strategic advisor. I've joined the Rug Radio DAO Council and was a part of their last 3 months of the DAO Council and looking to renew that for the next year in the position. And so, yeah, I like to participate in the community. I'm known for max FOMOing into flights last minute for IRL events, specifically going to rec show events. So everybody, if you're going to be in Lisbon, I'll be there. But that's a little bit about me in a nutshell.
Nice, man. Yeah, you certainly do make it to all the events, and I remember that one where you had the weird airplane ride back, like the flight of nightmares, where you got like stranded in North Pole.
It took me like 40 hours, and I was grounded in the Arctic Circle and stayed on a plane for 8 hours until they can get a new plane to us. So that was definitely an adventure, but I'm glad it happened on the way back, so I actually still made the event instead of on the way there.
Yeah, for sure. That would be an absolute nightmare. And one thing I'll say is you have the best, probably the top nude photography collection in all of NFTs, I think.
That is very flattering, but I am nowhere near the top. There are a lot of really big collectors that I've battled with for a very long time that have depths of collections that I can only dream about. But you don't know about it because they're big in the space in other ways, and so they post a plethora of other things where I've kind of made it my cornerstone to try to really show that, fine art nude photography is art. And even though it gets censored and my account gets flagged and all this other nonsense, I really uh, enjoy that community. I, for a long time while I was in NFTs, didn't even know about photography, the photography community. And when I went over there, they're just such close knit people, and they're so smart, and they're so dedicated, but they're so supportive of one another, which you don't often find in the art community. So I just really vibe with a lot of people that are photographers in the space, and so I continue to collect a lot of photography.
Nice, man. Yeah, your collection is impressive to say the least. So is your Wrecked Guy collection. You've got what, two full metal jacket sets. You've got the alien mask, obviously, which is it's the number 2 trait, so that's really good. And you've got a lot of other. I mean, you've got an insane collection as well. So definitely, you're quite the procurer of art.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the deepest bags. I'm not like independently wealthy, and I didn't make a ton, and I've never lost a ton, kind of in the crypto space. But I do try to do conviction plays. So, I definitely have conviction on, as I have conviction in what Farouk and G-Man and Loxley are doing at Rug Radio, and so I've kind of focused my attention collecting there. And then I also like to collect, as I said, photography, nude photography, other artists that I just really look up to or admire for, their overall qualities, not only their artistic quality, but how they present themselves in the space, and how creative and intelligent they are. But yeah, so I do small bags in my conviction plays, and I'm definitely holding them until the next bull run and beyond. So I appreciate you calling out that alien mask is the number 1 trait, confirmed by the actual founder and artist of the project, OSF himself.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. The artist can't decide that, it's.
Well, the community has decided it too. Your victory hoodie is only backed by you and no one else.
Actually, I ran a poll in the early days, and the victory hoodie won.
No, that was garbage polling. Anyways, let's move on.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the show, and I'm excited to actually dive in to this project. What I will say, in all transparency, is I have already invested into this project. I think I'm the 24th biggest holder of the token. So I'm excited to hear from the project creators themselves and have them tell the community about what they're working on.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm invested as well. I think a bunch of Wrecked guys are. We shared it in the Discord, and Jordan shared it, and we like art, and it's really an art project. It's very interesting. So on that note, Fractal, if you'd like to kick it off by telling us a little bit about your background, how you got into NFTs, and what's going on now.
Okay, you can hear me okay?
Yes, very clear.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So I am a computer scientist. I studied computer science. So when I went to university, I studied both computer science and visual arts. So I've always sort of hedged my bets on both sides. And of course, I've always been into generative art because that's what computers are good at. And so I always thought that there was like more I could do with this fractal art. Like everyone does fractal art, but I didn't want to just do fractal art. I wanted to do something with it. And so many years ago, I had the idea of I was wondering, how could I turn fractals into money, into currency? I first thought, oh, maybe if we could put fractals on a dollar bill, and then that would become the uniqueness of the dollar bill. That could be the watermark or whatever of the dollar bill. And so I made up a pretend currency using fractals. And so when Bitcoin came out and the cryptocurrencies, it kind of gave me some new ideas of what I could do with the fractal beyond just generating the art. So to me, fractal art is generative art in the most raw sense. You are literally generating the art out of the ether, right? Which is kind of interesting because Ethereum is, the crypto of or the backing of the NFTs, and so this is generative art in the truest sense of generative art. So it comes out of nothing and creates beautiful pictures. So, but I wanted to do more with it than just, do a bunch of art shows, which I've done in the past. I've done lots of art shows. I even got a Canada Council grant once called the Vision of the Jewel Line Buddhaverse, which supported one of, generating the art and doing an art show many years ago. And so, I've been doing this for a long time. And so maybe I can let Jordan talk about how we ended up doing this project.
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me all right? Because I'm talking through the theOMparticle Twitter account, but I'm on the video.
Yeah, you're good, man.
It's
Dialed
good.
in.
Yeah. No
Awesome.
feedback or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to.
Oh no, we can't hear you now. Uh-oh.
I can hear him.
He muted again. He somehow got muted.
No,
I
I'm
can hear
talking.
him just fine.
Okay, I think everyone can hear him.
I couldn't hear him.
Except you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
I think it's because you're on the video and there's a lot of other people on Spaces. Michael, can you hear him?
Okay, so I'll talk right now. Can you hear me?
I can now. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah,
so
let's keep going.
Let's keep going. I was just gonna say the generative art.
He's cutting out again. I can't hear him.
You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
As
perfect.
soon as you start talking, I can't hear you again. Sorry.
Okay, I think keep going because I think the others can hear.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice, man. Yeah, I think I remember that too. Being shared through Rug Radio, and I mean that's a nice sale for that one of one. Really like the idea of how this is fully generative. Like it's really cool, and how you've integrated math into it and everything. I think that's definitely a space where people like to collect in this arena. 2160. Any comments?
Yeah, so I was wondering if
Okay, just so you know, I'm not hearing anything from either Jordan or 2160.
You're not okay.
No, and I have a feeling that everyone on YouTube is also not hearing either of these guys. So I can't answer a question if I can't hear it.
Okay.
What
That's
should
not
we
good.
do?
I would suggest that she logs in to Twitter Spaces, and she can take over the theOMparticle account, and then I will just join on my technical room account. Can we do that?
Yeah, that's cool, man. That
Okay.
if
So
you
what?
So
Okay, Jordan, what should I do here? Okay, the RugRoast, start listening. And maybe I should plug my headphones into that. How can I won't be, okay, start listening.
And then can you hear me now, Burn Dog?
yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you perfectly, so we shouldn't need to do any more unless I want to hear.
2160, say something.
yeah, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, now I can hear. So
Awesome.
like
Very
Jordan,
cool.
Jordan, you were muted the whole time, and now you're not muted on the live stream.
Great. Well, now it's working.
So I didn't hear anything you said, so you could have been talking about me behind my back, and I would never know.
So I'll just
Only
let
nice
you
things.
know, we left off
Okay.
where we sold our Buddha brat in the Rug Radio gallery, and they were just asking if they want to. There's a lot of parts to this project, so they want us to explain like what is Itcoin and how does it all, I guess, fit together. So maybe you can go into the details of the project.
Okay, so right, so where should I start? So the project kind of starts with the famous fractal, which you can see in the background there, the Mandelbrot fractal. Okay, so that is one of the most famous fractals that everyone knows about it. Everyone has written a program with it. Any computer scientist has, even someone just goofing around could write the program for this.
What's a fractal?
Oh, that's a very good question. A lot of people don't know what a fractal is. A lot of people actually do. Surprisingly, a lot of people actually do. So a fractal is, well, you look in nature, you see fractal. So a tree is a fractal. So a fractal is an object that has, it's called the property of self-similarity. And so what that means is the branch of the tree looks the same as the tree, and then a branch of the tree looks the same as the branch of a tree. And so this is an iterative process. And so to generate fractals on the computer, what you have to do is you have to iterate. So this process of iteration, it's a feedback loop. Just like when you take a microphone and put it, against the speaker, and it creates a feedback loop and you hear this crazy noise. Well, if you could actually look at that noise, you would see sort of self-similar patterns embedded into that noise. And that's exactly what fractals on computer do. So when you take this, there's a very simple formula to generate that guy. It's an iterative process. So you take the output of the function and you feed it back into the function. And then each time you do, you get a new number. So you take this number, it's actually two numbers. It's a coordinate on the screen. So it's a coordinate in this space right there. You take that number and you iterate it over and over and over again, and then it creates a trajectory, right, which you can plot as a picture.
And that's Fractal Woman, you could actually share your screen if you wanted to show some live examples as you're explaining.
Okay.
Yeah, would love to see it.
Okay.
That is super.
And while she's figuring out how to share a screen, I just want to kind of give an overview of the theOMparticle and Itcoin and how we're tying it all together. So the whole meme part, right? Obviously, it's meme coin season, and everyone's craving for a token or a coin. And we thought it was just fitting because to create an image or an OMparticle, it takes so many iterations. And each of those OMparticles create the Buddhabrot, which has iterations. Our total supply of Bitcoin is actually 215 million and so on. And that's how many iterations it took to generate that. So our coin is actually math-based. And if you think about how Bitcoin is mined and how Ethereum is mined, it's very similar to how we had to use energy to create that generative art. So these are true, I guess, generative art images. And our utility token is a product of that. So tying in the meme, we're like, Itcoin, send it. It's such a great slogan, and it fits right in to all our formulas. And maybe Fractal Woman can go into the universe later, but sending a coin to Mars would be an epic victory, right? So even though we're kind of joking about it and it's a meme, we're actually like prototyping coins that you'll later be able to 3D print. So that's called Project 3. And I guess I'm skipping ahead a lot here.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So Project 1 is the OMparticle Genesis part. Project 2 is the butterfly effect intention cards. Project 3 will be if you're an Itcoin holder, you'll get to actually mint another free NFT, which will actually be your Itcoin that will be 3D printable. And that's how we came up with the meme. And then I'll let Fractal Woman tie it into the fractals and science part.
Okay, I kind of lost my Zoom screen here. I've got so many windows open. I can't seem to find my Zoom screen.
It's in Chrome or your browser.
Yeah. There it is. Okay, let me pull that out so I can find it easier. Okay, so what's the best way for me so I can present? Share screen, and I want to share my screen. And
it's always a struggle for me because I have like 300 tabs open and like
Chrome tab, window, entire screen. I think it's best if I share my entire screen. Now, okay, share system audio, no. So this is where I ran into trouble last time, Jordan, is I clicked the share button. For some reason, I think you have to let me share my screen.
Yeah, I'm watching for it. It should pop up and tell me.
Yeah, because I don't have, like, I'm clicking the share button and it won't let me share it. Like it's grayed out and it won't let me share my screen. So yeah. Now so that makes things a little difficult. Now I don't know if I can share a window. Maybe it'll let me share a window.
Yeah, because normally when you try to share it just like has a pop-up and I click approve.
Yeah. It's weird. Let me try again. I'm gonna click present. Oh, sharing screen was canceled. Make sure I was clicking skip. So share screen. Okay. Share screen.
Jordan, you want to try
entire screen?
I could. Yeah, I'll try it right now. So share.
It's always technical difficulties, especially when you're trying to stream on different platforms and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, we have that on every single show.
You know, me being a computer scientist, the digital gods always make this difficult for me.
Yeah, I have.
You know what I mean? Like I should know these things should work. They just should work, but they don't. Okay, maybe if I click. Oh, I got it.
Oh,
I think I got it.
Let's pull this one down and add that one. Bada bing, bada boom. We're up.
Okay.
Whoa. Is that
so now I want to. Yeah, that is actually definitely a way to make fractals. So back in the day, I used to take, they had the analog video cameras, which they don't make anymore. If you take the output of that and plug it into the TV, and then you take the camera and point it to the TV, you get this feedback loop, and it created the most amazing fractal patterns, like crazy fractal patterns. Really amazing. So that is definitely how.
That's awesome.
So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so there are a bunch of fractal patterns you can see. These are a bunch of ones I generated, plus there's a bunch of own particles, like ones that I generated actually years and years ago when I first discovered them. So these are sort of what fractal patterns look like. So they're very, very beautiful. Okay.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah, they're very Mandela-like, which I really liked. And it really actually studying fractals really got me interested in Buddhism, which is kind of ironic because if you notice this little shape here is kind of looks Buddha-like, right? It looks like the crown of the Buddha and that sort of thing. And so then years later, after I discovered fractals, I didn't discover them after fractals discovered me. I ran across Buddha. Now, I didn't invent the algorithm Buddha, but I met the person that did develop the algorithm, and then she taught it to me, and then we worked together on it for a bunch of years, and she sort of had her way of doing it, and I had my way of doing it. And
But
so
you coined the term Buddha, and
but
that's
yeah, if you go to Wikipedia and look up Buddha, you'll find my name. It's not going to say Fractal Woman. It's going to say Lori Gardy. But I did coin the term Buddha, which I get credit for. And so that's why I feel justified in using Buddha in this project. Like Jordan was saying, the Buddha is a very complicated pattern. It takes, more. For the one I generated for this project, it's over 200 million iterations to generate one picture.
And how long would it take you to generate that Buddha?
Okay, so back in the day when the computers were slower, it would take hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to generate a Buddha. But I discovered an algorithm, which I won't get into now, I won't bore you with the details, to speed that up. So I sped it up from hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to just a couple of minutes. And now it's with the faster computers, it's even just, maybe, just 2 or 3 minutes at the most, right? So it takes time, especially for the high resolution ones. The one for this project is a high resolution image. With the more iterations, you can make the picture bigger, right? So
with the project, when somebody actually goes to mint, is it being minted live on chain? Is it being generated then, or have they already been generated?
No. We pre-generated them because we had to pre-generate the Buddha. Okay, so what I did was I pre-generated the Buddha, and the Buddha is actually made up of thousands and thousands of what we're calling ohm particles. So then the reason we're calling them ohm particles, somebody actually asked in the last interview we had, and so in the chat, and I didn't see it till later. But the reason we call it, there's 2 reasons why I use the term ohm particle. Because of Buddha, because it looks so much like a seated Buddha figure. Okay, so Buddha gave me the idea to call these ohm particles because ohm is, the term used in Buddhism. Ohm is actually the term used, the sound of ohm is the sound that brought the universe into being. Okay, so that's what ohm is, and that's why it's actually AUM, so it's not ohm, but a lot of people just use ohm. And also, I also have a theory of the universe. It's based on fractals. I believe the universe is fractal in nature, like intrinsically. And so the term ohm particle is actually started out as a title for my book. So I started writing a book. And then the book words didn't do it justice. And so then I started making a YouTube channel, YouTube videos on my theory. And so ohm is a play on wave particle duality. So ohm is the sound that brought the universe into being. And ohm is, a wave. It's a vibration. Sound waves are waves. And then ohm particle. So ohm particle is a play on a term that's used in physics, which they call wave particle duality. And that is sort of the basis of my fractal theory of the universe. So there's a lot in here that, that isn't just about the pretty pictures. It is a lot about the pretty pictures, but there is a science behind it.
That makes it all the better, though. I love that.
Yeah. I think you guys, it really is a great time.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Yeah, I lost him too.
Oh,
about now?
lost you.
Right now.
Can you hear me?
You're back.
He's back.
What I was saying is I think you guys have really good timing with this project, kind of on two different fronts, right? So there's been a renewed interest in kind of the generative art market in the last week or so. And then prior to that, the weeks prior, there was kind of this, everybody jumping into meme coins. And so for you guys to be working on this for so long and then kind of launch it in this kind of duality of hitting both of those things that are very in vogue within the NFT space, I think is really great. And while the pretty pictures may get people to stop, it got me to stop and say, "Oh, what is this?" The project does seem to have many, many layers, and
It really does.
that can, for somebody, it could be kind of, "Oh, this is too complicated. I won't understand it." But I think it's broken down in a way. Art, the Itcoin. Obviously, people understand memes, and so I think it's broken down very well for somebody to digest it very easily.
Yeah,
So,
I appreciate you saying that, because that's exactly what we're trying to capture. And though if you look at it right away, it might seem too complicated, but we have our Telegram, right, which most of those people in there are focused on the coin portion. Then we have our Discord, where we think more art people or more people interested in NFT will go to the Discord. So we have our moderator,
and I have my YouTube channel where the people that are interested in the science behind what I'm doing, because this is all connected. It's not one thing and another thing and another thing. It is all one thing. And so we're covering all the bases, right?
Yeah.
I think.
I think that's really unique. One of the questions I kind of have lingering on my mind, and it might be some alpha and you might not have figured it out yet, but for those who decided to be part of kind of the Itcoin pre-sale, there is that caveat that a certain number, owning a certain amount of Bitcoin, will give you a mint of this project when you guys drop it in the next couple
great question, because that is on my list right here of one of two alpha pieces that we're dropping today. So I guess I can drop the alpha right now. If you own Itcoin, you will have to own 200,000 Itcoin, and that will get you a free mint on the mint day. And we haven't taken the snapshot. We're going to wait a little bit until volume picks up, and hopefully in the next couple of days, we'll take the snapshot. We will give some notice, so it's not going to be like last minute, but it will be soon. And so 200,000 is very similar to a lot of other NFT projects when they launch. And not only do you own the coin, which has a lot of utility going forward, you'll own that piece of art for forever.
Yep. And also people I don't know if they know if the people that got into the pre-sale will get a free mint regardless.
Yeah, you get an additional one for being in the pre-sale. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Hey, have you dropped a contract?
And when you get your free particle, it's going to tell you how many iterations that was, and we're going to airdrop that number of extra Itcoins.
Yeah, so because we pre-generated it, right, as Lori was mentioning, if I could share my screen again, I'll just explain how it works.
For some reason, I feel like you probably got the math right on all that.
We worked hard on the math. I crunched so many numbers to make sure, and I double checked and triple checked to make sure the numbers were right. Yeah,
I love that.
So let me know when
there's
it's up.
Something so satisfying. There's something so satisfying with the numbers just work out exactly the way that they're supposed to. So,
if you're listening on Twitter Spaces and you go to our pinned tweet, I'll explain exactly how the mint is going to happen. So I have this OMparticle picked out, and this is a similar one that will be in the collection, not identical, but it has an iteration number. So when you go to mint, and we're gonna allow for some trading in between the airdrop, but say it's like 10 or 20 days of trading before we do the airdrop, you'll get airdropped 41,732 Itcoins. And we included that in our tokenomics, that 10% of the supply would get airdropped. And that's exactly from what was minted or what was generated from the 1,200 and so OMparticles, which create a portion of the Buddha-Brot.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, even though you were dropping this in what would be considered a meme coin season, I would say that this is probably more of a utility ecosystem coin than a meme coin itself, because it sounded like not only is it involved in the drop of this NFT, but there would be utility past that in your guys' ecosystem for other phases that you're bringing up in the future. Is that correct to kind of generalize it in that aspect?
It's not a shit
definitely.
coin.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
it's an
if
it coin. If you put an SH in front of it coin, you got a shit coin.
No, it's there's actual value. I agree with 2160.
Yeah, I think this is different than what anyone else is doing, because I don't think anyone's tying a coin to an NFT and vice versa, right? It's kind of, they're both interconnected, and there will be future utilities, like, you know, we'll have future projects where you can buy, you know, some other things from our collection using the Itcoin, and, you know, we have other, you know, we're only dropping a small portion of the OMparticles that were created to generate the Buddha-Brot. So there's a lot of things we can do with those extra OMparticles that, you know, we could do in the future. So there's a lot. There's a lot. We don't like. We have so many ideas. We're going crazy.
That's awesome. I know, but you're adding utility to the token. I mean, so that's going to be good for the supply, right? You can, you know, get more art from it, and I love the art and the whole process behind it. It's, I mean, to me, I think I agree with 2160 that the artist and what goes into creating the art is just as important as the art itself. And these look really cool, but the whole process is it tells a story, and I like it. But that said, have you posted the contract address yet? Because I got to see how many I have.
Yeah, for anybody who wants to get involved, I would say that obviously do your own research, not financial advice, but go to their website, make sure you're looking it up through the correct contract. And I believe you can purchase it on Uniswap and other.
Yeah, it's right there at the top. Yeah.
Just make sure that you're purchasing the correct one.
Yeah, always scammers in this space. I think I've seen a few Itcoins on like Binance chain now ever since we launched. So
there that was bound to happen.
Scams out there.
Yeah, people jump on the idea. Yeah.
But I was breaking up a bit there. I don't know if Fractal Woman got into it, but the next phase of utility after the OMparticle Genesis is the butterfly effect intention cards, which Fractal Woman has already made. And if you want to share your screen, Fractal Woman, and kind of go through that project, but I was explaining to the Rug Radio crew the other day that look, Twitter's so negative and the world's so negative these days. It'd be nice to create a butterfly effect of good intentions, right? Like let's pass along one card, and it's a nice, beautiful piece of generative art, and it has an encouraging word or a meaningful word to you on that card, which is an NFT, and you give it to someone on Twitter. And what we're trying to do is create this chain reaction or butterfly effect. And we're hoping that can take off on Twitter and create its own movement. So that will be phase, I guess, 2 of the project.
Okay. So first of all, this is our website. So the website is, if you go itcoin.space, it will bring you to our website. Okay. And so what Jordan was just talking about, I have sort of an example here at the bottom. This is our butterfly effect, sort of the look and feel of our butterfly effect intention cards. They're kind of like, you know, oracle cards, if you know what they are. I don't want to say, yeah, they're oracle cards basically, but So each one will have a sort of a word on it that can inspire you throughout your day. And we want to generate good intentions. We want this whole project to generate something good, right? So we just want to keep putting out good intentions. And, like, I know me personally, if I generate any revenue from this process, I'm going to use it to do good deeds. And so I want to do good deeds. I want to create good vibes. I want world peace, to be totally honest. If I'm going to tell you what I want to create world peace. That would be my dream come true. And so I just want to create positive vibrations, which is my favorite Bob Marley song. And, just do something really good with this. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, and I think I love that for a lot of reasons. But people on crypto Twitter lately, there have been many conversations about the differences between NFTs in 2023 and NFTs in 2021. And it wasn't just the money, it was also the vibe, and it was the communities that were built. So creating something that can pass along a positive message, a positive vibe on Twitter, I think it's something to aspire to. And I'm glad to see something like your project, bring that to fruition in the space, probably at a time that it might need it the most. A lot of people here, are going through what they're going through, and it's nice to see positive projects come into the space.
Definitely agree. Yeah, I like the whole idea behind it. The world peace being a goal, that's awesome. I mean, we'd all love to see that. Don't know if it'll ever happen with a bunch of psychopaths running the world.
Exactly.
But,
Jeez. Well, we need to take over the world then. That's all.
Well, that's why we're going to take control here.
Jordan keeps saying we're going to change the world, and I believe him now. So
for sure, we've been planning this for a long time, and our coin launched seamlessly. It was a fair launch. We really didn't make any money off the launch. We released it at a low market cap. We just wanted the coin out there so we can get the message out there. It's on the blockchain forever now. The supply could never be changed. We renounced the contract. The mint is going to happen. People are going to get free art. Then that art will be the key to everything Fractal Woman does. And I don't want to keep going on a tangent that we have 1 million projects, but she does have 8,000 followers on YouTube. And on the science part, maybe this project will help her finish her book. And maybe the users and our community will be a part of that book.
And maybe that book could become an NFT in itself, or chapters of the book or something, because I know that's sort of happening right now too. So that would be, putting my book onto the blockchain would be pretty cool.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah.
Definitely fits our community well, I would say.
Nice.
So I don't know if there's any more questions from your end, or if there's any questions in the audience, but don't let me forget, there's one more piece of alpha at the very end I can give.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, audience, any questions? You can type them in the YouTube chat. 2160, anything from you?
Maybe just basic questions. So is the only way to mint by buying Bitcoin, or is there going to be a public sale? If there's a public sale, what is going to be the price? Maybe how many is total, or going to be in total in the collection? And then mint date. I don't know if that is your second piece of alpha or not, but if you guys have decided on a mint date.
Yeah, so I can take that question. Let me just get my list here. So the mint will definitely be phased. And the exact number of OMparticles, sorry, I don't have it in front of me. Is it 12?
I think it's 1245 right now. Plus, yeah. So yeah, and there will be so the final Buddha, there'll be an image of the final Buddha hidden in the collection. There'll only be one, and someone will get that. And when they get that, they will be airdropped 1.618, etc. Bitcoins. So that's
they'll get one. If you get our one-on-one Buddha brought, that's about 1% of the total supply.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty decent.
And it's also a very special number, because this is the number of, it's called Phi, which is, so 1.618 is a very special number called phi, and it is the golden ratio. I don't know if you ever heard of the golden ratio. It is embedded into all the fractals, this golden ratio. When I generate the Mandelbrot set and zoom into it, I find it's a spiral that you see in nature. So a seashell has this ratio of scaling. It's called phi. So that's why we made the Buddhabrot worth 1.618. And it's an irrational number like pi, so it's got like a million digits. So we made our Buddhabrot relating that to phi, because I have to do mathy stuff because it's fun. It was an arbitrary number.
She keeps blowing my mind. She keeps blowing my mind, and this project gets better every single day, which is amazing. So yeah, we'll have different phases of the mint. We're obviously the mint coin, or the it coin holders will mint coin. There's one.
The mint coin. That's a good one.
Yeah. It coin holders will go first, and then the leftover OMparticles, I think, will go to a public sale, and we haven't decided on the price, but something fair that we can sell out right away if the first batch doesn't sell out, and then we'll go from there. But I think we want the mint maybe around next weekend or towards the end of next week. It's been a very fast-paced launch, as everyone knows. Crypto, 24 hours in crypto is like 365. Like, we never expected it to go this fast. We thought it'd be a slow pre-sale, but we're very appreciative of everyone who supported us at the beginning. And yeah, did that answer all your questions about the mint?
Yeah, I think we have one from YouTube that's just confirming if 200,000 coins is what equals 1 mint.
Yes, that is the alpha for today.
Nice. G-Man likes it, so you better look out.
Yeah, G-Man studied math in college.
I also want to say, so in the OMparticle collection, the OMparticle iterations range from 4,000 to a little less than 300,000. So one OMparticle can be worth up to 300,000 iterations. And then the Buddhabrot is worth 1.618 million, right? So there are some high-end OMparticles in that collection. So that's really cool, because every single OMparticle has a different value. There's probably no two that have exactly the same value, and if they do, it's just by accident. But each OMparticle takes a different number of iterations to complete the sequence, and
nice.
so that creates a kind of a rarity. So the higher iteration ones are harder to find. It's kind of like I call it a mining process, kind of like Bitcoin mining. It's a mining process where you see, let's see if I can point to see that yellow thing around the Mandelbrot, that yellow fuzzy boundary in my picture in the background. I call that an event horizon. So in my cosmology, that's a black hole, and that fuzzy region is the event horizon, and that's where the high-end OMparticles live. So, and the closer you are to the event horizon, the closer you are to the black hole, the black part in the region in the middle, the more iterations it takes to finish, to complete. And those ones have more detail. So the higher iteration ones have more details, and they're worth more Bitcoins.
Wow.
So that creates the rarity, but those high-end ones are harder to find. So I'm literally mining from this little fuzzy region there. I'm mining all the, so I don't know where they are. I have to like go find them. And so I'm, literally mining for OMparticles when I run my program.
That is so cool. I feel like I need to eat some mushrooms and go back and watch this thing.
There we go.
Yeah. You don't need to. You don't need to. Just go watch some of my fractal fly-through videos. You'll feel like you're on mushrooms.
There we go. Nice. I love those videos. They're so relaxing too.
They're fun.
Nice. Yeah. Feel free to like pin those on the tweet, or like even go into the YouTube channel and just throw some links in there if you want. But this is super cool. One of the coolest projects I've seen in a very, very long time. So I like it.
Thank you.
Definitely 2160.
Yeah, I think, we're coming up with kind of 8 minutes on the hour, so we'll have to wrap it up. I think there's some scoring that we need to do, Bern.
There is some scoring. You're a first time scorer, man. Are you nervous?
I'm not nervous. I will have to get the hang of it over time, so I'll kind of let you take the lead and then offer some opinions and maybe my score as well.
Okay, nice.
Well,
Yeah,
before you get into this, let's give one more piece of alpha, because the mint wasn't part of the alpha. I have one additional piece, and it's actually very exciting for us, and there'll be an official tweet about it next week by the team. But
wait, hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay, I can go.
Ready? Yeah. So theOMparticle will be the first ever additions piece on stubs. So they're going to do a special mint, and you'll learn more about it from their team next week, I think.
Nice. That is awesome, man. That's huge. I know most of this audience knows all about stubs. So that's awesome. That's looking forward to that. Getting
well, I think that biases my score, because I am definitely, a very big supporter, being on the RDAO Council, and so I look forward to the rug community being introduced to this project as well.
Absolutely, I agree. So yeah, I like the way that you guys did the pre-sale. It was fair, you have good intentions behind it. The math behind it, like, now that I kind of understand it, I can't say I fully do, but I kind of do. It's really cool the way that these are generated, which is, that's one of my favorite things about collecting art, is the story behind it, and they look really, really cool. But now I kind of know, like, why they look the way they do, and what that means. So
good.
I like it. It's you're not trying to just come in and make a bunch of money off people. You built something really cool that I think, if enough people learn about it, you're gonna have a ton of interest in this. So I'm gonna give you one of my highest scores of all time. I'm gonna give you a 9.3825.
I love that number.
Yeah, I just added.
That's great.
Kept adding.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a high rating. I love the project. I'm super pumped to. I get two, because I have like 280,000 Bitcoins. So that means I get two.
You'll get another one. Yep.
Yeah. So that's I'm pumped to get it. I'm pumped to just hold the art and own it and look at it and enjoy it. So that's awesome. 2160.
Yeah, so what I will say is, I think that this project offers a lot of layers, and in each layer somebody could really find, something that relates to their interest, which I think is really great. It's not being flexible, but it's offering different avenues to adoption, right? Or different avenues to discovery.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really dig, because most projects being released are kind of just flat. They're one layer. And that kind of, can trap people. I really dig the fair launch that you did with the coin or the token, and I also too like the math, and I really just like the generative art. It looks really, really cool, and I'm glad to add to my collection. As I've said, I think I'm the 24th biggest holder of Bitcoin. I think that means that I'll get some. As it stands right now. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what's generated and what ends up being in my wallet. And I look forward to the future being built out. I hope that the community that comes around this maintains the positive origins that you guys are displaying through these interviews, and kind of the founding principles that founded the project. And I hope that it helps you with your book, something that I would look forward to reading. So from a score perspective, I think the only things that I would be missing, if I were to say, would be, it would have been really cool if they were generated on chain at time of mint, but I know why you guys didn't do that. And so for that, I think that I will give you an 8.869 as my first ever.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a
Yeah.
legendary moment. That's a great score, and it's 2160's first rating.
Amazing.
I love it.
Oh,
We're
I got
setting
extra
the,
J6C6 in our chat gave me extra points for having a guitar and a bass in my background.
He's an excellent musician. So if he gives
Yeah.
extra points, we're gonna have
Yep.
to.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to.
I used
factor
to
that
play,
in.
just so he knows, I used to play bass in a band a long time ago. So
Was it Bob Marley and the Wailers? No, I'm just kidding. You're
no,
too-
we did a lot of reggae songs though. I'm a big fan of Bob Marley. In fact, I named my son Marley because I love Bob Marley. So
I love Bob Marley as well.
My son's name is Marley.
That's awesome. I love it. I love Bob Marley, and yeah, that's cool. J6 is he's a great musician. He makes a lot of the jams for the Rug Radio folks and other stuff too, which is super cool. So
excellent.
Yeah. But thank you guys. We appreciate the time. Anyone listening or on YouTube, if you can like, share, spread the word, any way to help both the OMparticle share their message and help us share our show, shill it hard. We appreciate that. 2160, any closing comments?
Yeah, so my closing comments every week are going to be the same. You know, as part of the Rug Radio ecosystem, please get involved. I'm in the RDAO Council, and our DAO is only as strong as participation, so please go over there. And then I'm going to ask this community to just harp on Burn until he changes that victory hoodie rec guy to a golden girl, so I don't have to stare at it every week when we do the show. So those are going to be two things that I will say at the end of every show.
It's just jealousy that you don't have one, but that's fair, man. I get it, man.
I thought it was a picture of Marvin the Martian, actually. Far away, it looked like Marvin the Martian.
Hey, you're never living that down.
Marvin's the man. I love it. I'll
love
take
Marvin,
it.
My favorite.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for your time. Have a good weekend. Memorial Day. Eat as many hot dogs as you can. Drink beer or whatever you drink, or water. I don't care. Drink something and stay hydrated. Thanks everybody.
Cheers.
Thank you. Thanks for everything.
Yeah.
It's a rug roast. Please get smoked and you cope with the real or you end up toast. Rug roast. Yeah, it's a rug roast.